So I'm going to show you some of those techniques, and you can adapt them to your own style. First, I'm going to highlight a section of the waveform that looks like it ends at a natural pause between words, and see if that corresponds to a short sentence. I'd like to keep these subtitles as short as possible, because if they get too long and they'll take up too much space on the video. My goal is to keep them at a maximum of 2 horizontal lines in English, and that means that in some languages they could easily become 3 lines, like the Russian language, which uses about 50% more characters than English. 3 lines is probably okay, but to stay within 3 lines we need to keep the English at a 2-line limit. The other way around that is to reduce the size of the font, but then it's more difficult to view. So just try to keep the subtitles short. To hear the audio, you can either click on this play button or press the F1 hotkey.
We're very honored to have Alex Collier join us. This is pretty much unprecedented.
I heard Carrie say the first 2 sentences, which may be too long, so I'm going to attempt to find the break after the first sentence. I can guess about that by looking at the waveform, or I can hit the F3 key, which is the loop function, and I'll keep hearing Carrie's voice over and over again until I stop it by hitting escape, or the square button here. And while she's speaking, I can move the end of this selected part of the waveform.
We're very honored to have Alex Collier join us. We're very honored to have Alex Collier join us. We're very honored.
Okay, I found, after a few tries, I found I'm zooming in now. I found the point, and I'm fine-tuning it here, where the first sentence ends. Now I can highlight the first sentence over here and just press the F2 hotkey. That's the most basic procedure here. Let's just go to the next subtitle I can create by highlighting going to the left, and notice that I can't go past the end of the first subtitle, and that's because of that preference option, the anti-overlapping option, and now you can see how useful it is. I want to target this second line of Carrie's voice, so I'll just use F2 and then test to see if I got it right.
This is pretty much unprecedented.
And I did. I can fine-tune it by moving the right boundary if I didn't get it right, and continue on in this fashion. One thing I'm noticing here is that this subtitle appeared as 2 lines, and normally I'd prefer that not to have this hard line break embedded in the subtitle. It will show on the screen as 2 lines, this pretty much, and unprecedented on the next line. But then I'm stuck with that, and it could get in the way of the translators. So I made it a single line, and if it needs to become 2 lines, in the next step that will happen automatically. It's normally better to let it happen automatically unless there are 2 different people speaking in the same subtitle, and in that case we want to make two separate lines for two separate speakers. And then we can use a hard return, which we can do anytime just by hitting enter here or typing in \n. So let's do one more. I'm guessing this will, well, I won't guess this time. I'll just use the loop function, F3.
He does not speak, as you may know. He does not.
And there it is. He does not speak, as you may know. Before we go any further, let me show you some other nice features. Especially when I'm reviewing, I like to use the F5 and F6 keys, which allow me to quickly move to the left and right.
This is pretty. We're very on. This is. He does not speak, as you may know.
I don't have to wait to listen to the whole audio. I can just quickly skip from one subtitle to the next. And I've also set up some hotkeys, F7 and F8, to scroll left and right the whole waveform. That can be very handy. You can, if you have a mouse that has a mouse wheel, you can do the same thing by holding down the mouse wheel and panning left or right. If sometime you need to merge two subtitles, you decide that they're too short, you can just highlight them here and then either merge or merge dialogue. If you select merge dialogue, it treats them as two separate speakers and puts a hyphen before each subtitle. I'll choose just merge, and it merged the two of them into one on separate lines. Again, I prefer to have them on one line and have the automatic line break put in later. And to reverse that process, I can position the cursor here and right-click, split at cursor. And what that does is it creates two subtitles, each one having double-click highlights the subtitle here and here. So I'll need to edit them to make them separate again. There, now I've restored the two subtitles.
He does not speak, as you may know.
Incidentally, if you leave the loop function on, you can move along very quickly because the audio never stops.
He does not speak, as you may know. He does not speak, as you may know. In often or even has in often or even has in often or even has in quite some time. Often or even has in. So I just wanted to say. 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 So I just wanted to say that I got a message over a year ago that. So I just wanted to say that I got a message over a year ago that. So I just wanted to say that I got a message over a year ago that.
And so on. There's just one more thing I'd like to show you, and that's how to italicize. I'm going to pretend that this italicized text is in the next segment of the audio. I'll highlight here and highlight Einstein's quote, which is mostly italicized after Einstein said. Then we'll create the subtitle, make it one line, and highlight in this area Einstein's quote. And I can either use Control-I or right-click text in italic. And these special formatting character sequences are inserted, and they'll cause the enclosed phrase to be italicized in the final video production. You have to remember what was italicized, because once the subtitle is created, the original formatted text disappears unless you choose to use a different option. For example, auto colorized text will just change the color so you can keep track of which text has been used and which text hasn't.